Hi, welcome to Environmental Issues. This is your instructor, Julia Nicholas, and in this video I will briefly go over everything that you need to know to get started with the course. So in this video I'm going to go over how to contact me, some important dates for the quarter, the course layout in our site called Canvas, go over a little bit of information from the syllabus, an overview of your assignments and grading, and lastly some tips on how to succeed in an online course. So this is me, your instructor, Julia Nicholas. My email is julianicholas@faculty.klamathcc.edu. Please see the syllabus or the Contact Me extra credit link under modules for my phone number. So first off, I'd just like to start with why I teach online. And I spent several years taking online courses. So I've done the traditional campus courses and I've done a lot of online courses as well. And I know the benefits and also frustrations in being an online student. That's not actually me in the top picture, but that could have been me about 2 years into my last degree. So I got to the point of being really frustrated with online courses, and I know that there are some definite challenges when you are taking classes online. But I do hope through what I've learned, I can make your online education experience a positive one and help you to reach your long-term goals. Also, life is busy, and probably like you, I have a lot of things I'm trying to juggle, and I want to maximize the time that I can spend with my family, and working online allows me to do that. That's my son there on the right-hand picture, and I love getting to work at home and spend time with my kids. But also, I think that online education is really beneficial, and that's why a lot of you are taking it, because you can't take the traditional college courses. So I hope that you enjoy the course and that the online setting will work for you this term. So here are just a few main important dates to keep in mind for all of your courses this term. This is from the academic calendar that's on the KCC website, and this term this is winter term, and so one of the first dates to keep in mind is the last day to drop a course for a full refund, and last day to add a class is Friday, January 12th. So please keep that date in mind if you're wanting to change your schedule around for any of your classes. Friday, January 12th is the first important date to keep in mind. The holidays don't really apply to us as much online because you can adjust your schedule as you need to throughout each week, but those are the campus holidays. And then some other important dates to keep in mind are Friday, March 2nd is the last day to withdraw with a W. So if you need to withdraw from any of your courses, that's the last day to do that with a W. And then our final exams are March 19th through the 23rd. The last day of the term is Friday, March 23rd. Another date to keep in mind is Monday, February 12th is when you can start registering for spring quarter. So good idea to start looking ahead to spring quarter, seeing what you want to take, and getting into the classes that you want. Next, let's look at Canvas, and Canvas is the name of the site where all of your course information is located. If you log into Canvas, it will most likely take you to this screen here, which is called your dashboard, and this is where you'll go to find and submit all of your assignments and tests, as well as view all of your grades and course email. You'll probably see this screen when you log in. Again, this is called your dashboard, but there are also links to this you can click. Essentially is going to have what's in your dashboard, a list of your courses that you're taking. It also has a calendar link, which is great. It has assignments for all your online courses, and then an inbox where you can go to submit emails to your instructor or anyone in the course. So we'll go over those, each of those now. Before I move on, one more thing actually. If you see this icon here, this is the announcements icon, and if you see a number here, that means there are announcements that you have not checked yet. So if you see a number next to that announcement, little microphone there, then please make sure you read those. That means there's something that I'm wanting to share with you regarding the course, and those are important to check out if they pop up there. So when you click on a course, so let's say that you've clicked on the physics course, you will see a list of different links here on the left. One of the main links that you'll go to in the course is this modules link, which has a weekly breakdown of all of your assignments. There's also a link in here to your announcements for the course. You can look at the KCC syllabus or the course syllabus, check out your grades, a list of assignments, and some other general useful features that you can find online here in these links. So another one of the main links that you'll use on the left-hand side is this modules link, and that's where all of your work for the course is located. So anything that you need to find, you could find there. When you go into modules at the very top, there's a start here area, and this is the first thing that you're going to want to do is go into this. You're watching the Welcome to ENV 212 video. You'll want to make sure that you look at the KCC institutional syllabus and the course syllabus, and then take the syllabus quiz. That's the first thing that you want to do to establish your attendance for the course. So at the end of the first week, anyone who has not taken that quiz gets dropped for non-attendance. So please make sure that the very first thing that you do is go in there and take the syllabus quiz. Another helpful link here under modules at the top is the course resources. And usually within any of the assignments, which are located down here, I will put instructions. But if you're looking quickly for an instruction, you can click on this link here and find instructions such as how to do discussions, papers, your project, things like that. Below that is a breakdown week by week of what you'll be doing for the week. So at the top here, it says week 1, and it shows the topic that we'll be covering for the week. So for this week, it's ecosystems and sustainability. And then below that is a weekly overview. This is the first thing to look at each week. This is where I go over some important information about what you're doing for the week and some tips that can help you get those assignments done. So if you can please just check over that each week. And that's sort of like an announcement section for the week. If there's any changes to the week, I would make an actual announcement and put it here. But your general information for what's going on for the week is here. Below that are your weekly activities. And so in most weeks, there will be an information link. I don't put it as a lecture in this course just because sometimes it's reading, sometimes it's just some brief information I have for you to help you get started with your discussion for the week. But there'll be various resources and information in that week 1 information. So check that out. And then after that, you can get started with your weekly discussion. So that'll be one of the main components of your grade is you'll be discussing this, whatever the topic for the week is. And then every 4 weeks, you'll do a paper on one of those topics. So each week, for the most part, you'll do this discussion will be your main points and assignment for the week. And then I'll go over in a couple weeks I'll put up your paper instructions and go over how to do your paper so that you can get started on those when you are ready to get started on your paper. Grades is another link here on the left. So we were just in modules, which didn't show up, but it's up here. If you click on grades, you'll see a breakdown of all of your different assignments for the course. If there's a score here, that means it's something you've been submitted, that you have submitted and have been graded on. And at the very bottom is a total. So if you're in the lecture link, it'll show your total for the lecture assignment. And just keep a look at that as you go throughout the quarter, making sure that your grades look accurate and that what you have submitted you have received a grade for. The breakdown that I use for grades is this right here. So 90 to 100% an A, 80 to 89 a B, 70 to 79% C, and so on. I'd really like to be perfect and have your grades always perfect, but errors do happen. So if you see anything that doesn't look right, one of your assignments doesn't get graded or grade gets entered that doesn't look right, don't panic. Let me know as soon as possible and we will work to get your grade fixed and make sure it's correct. So another link here on the left is assignments. This is really similar to your grades link, and then it will show you all of your assignments that are upcoming and then the past assignments. So this is one way that you can just go in real quick and check and see, and if there's anything under past assignments you haven't done, make sure you get those done, but it allows you to see the due date, how many points the assignments is worth, and then you can sort your assignments either by date that they're due or by type of assignment. So if you're wanting to just separate,
let's say the discussions and papers into different area and see what you need to do. This is just one way to look at your assignments that are due for the quarter. Okay, and the last way to look at your assignments for the quarter is through the calendar feature. This is on the very left. Once you click on this link, you're taken out of the course into just the main Canvas site, and you have the ability to look at assignments for all of your classes. So you may not have this many links here on the left, but depending on how many classes you're taking, you should have a link for each of those classes in Canvas. And if you click on this little box right here, it'll pop up with a color, and then it will show those assignments on your calendar. So you can choose to look at assignments for just one class, or you can click on all of your classes and see assignments for all of your classes on the calendar feature. And so it will show you anything that's due and when it's due on the calendar. You can click up here on the arrow next to the month, and that'll allow you to go through the different months for the quarter and check and see all of your assignments and when they're due. And as I mentioned, if you want to get back to the class from this point, you would just click on Courses or Dashboard and reselect the class that you want to go back to. Lastly, anything here on the calendar, the black box is the day you're on, but anything with a square around it means you have an assignment due on that date, and you can click on that and see what assignments are due for that date.
Below the calendar button is the inbox link, and when you click on that, you'll go to the email system through Canvas, and in this section here will be a list of any emails that you have sent or received. And this feather button here, actually this will just show you, you can choose to select if you want to see your inbox or your sent box, and that would show up here. If you want to compose a new email, you would click this feather button here, and you could choose to send an email to any one of your instructors that are using Canvas. For this course, email of course is just fine. I tend to check the email system about once a day, so depending on when you send the email to me, you may not get a reply for a day or two later. I will try to get to those as soon as possible, but it tends to take a day or two for me to see and reply to your email. If you are wanting a fast reply, you're working on an assignment and have a question you would like to get answered quickly, text messages are the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me. And I'll go over a little bit later where to find my phone number to send me text messages. If you can't do that, of course, emails are just fine. It is quicker to send text messages if you were able to do that. So again, you can send me emails through that inbox link in Canvas, and I will try to get back to them as soon as possible. Again, if you're working an assignment and want a very quick reply, the quickest way to get in touch with me is to send me a text message. And this is actually an option for extra credit. Under modules, at the very top under Start Here, I have a Contact Me link for extra credit, and you can receive 10 points of extra credit. You'll click on this link. It has my phone number there. Send me a text message letting me know your name and the course that you're in, and then you'll receive extra credit for doing that. I think it's nice at the beginning just to send me a text message so that you have it in your phone. Easy, my phone number, easy to find if you ever have any questions. Students often ask what is an appropriate time to send texts. I generally am awake between the hours of 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Don't feel bad about sending me a text at any time. If I'm not awake, I just won't reply. But whenever I am awake, it's what I'm here for, and I'm more than happy to help. I find it, I think it's best for the student and for myself if we get in touch quickly and get your questions answered quickly rather than taking days to wait for emails to be seen and go back and forth. So if you are able to send a text message, again, don't feel bad about sending it. I'm more than happy to help you. And a lot of my students who do really well in the course do send me questions throughout the term asking for help. And I think it makes things go more smoothly and easier on your end if you're able to ask questions when you need to ask them. So again, you can find my phone number here in this Contact Me link, or I also have my phone number in the syllabus, near the top of the syllabus, if you click on the syllabus link here.
Once you've done the syllabus quiz, then you're ready to get started with your weekly modules. And as I mentioned earlier, the first thing that you will want to do is review the objectives, overview, and activities for the week, and then you can start with your weekly activities. So again, check this week one information first, and there is a slideshow of information to review for this week. It's a little bit long. Usually, most weeks I won't have that long of a slideshow, but there is some background information that I do want you to make sure you have that background knowledge. A lot of it's from ENV 170 if you took that in the past, but make sure you review through that. Make sure you're familiar with those terms so as they come up through the quarter, you're familiar with those basic concepts from environmental science. And then once you've reviewed that information, you can get started with your week one discussion. And the discussions each week will generally be 50 points. Most weeks, your discussion will need to be 300 words and include a good academic citation. I'll go over that in the discussion instructions next week. That will start next week. Your discussion this week is just introducing yourself. So next week you will be getting started with your discussions being a little bit more formal. But this week it's fairly informal with just us introducing ourselves and getting to know each other in the course.
So last up here are my tips for how to succeed in an online course. And the first thing that I would recommend at this point in the course is to start the quarter right. So in this course and any of your other courses, go into the course, check out the syllabus, check out all the assignments that you'll need to be doing, get your textbook, your lab supplies, any other things you need for your courses to get started so that right from the beginning you're ready to do your assignments and you know what you need to do so you don't get behind in this first week. Next would be reviewing the calendar each week. This helps you keep track of what you need to do, make sure that you're not missing an assignment for any of your courses. And by reviewing the calendar each week, kind of keeps you focused on making sure you're working on the assignments that you need to work on and looking ahead to what's going to be coming up. Next, I'd say make sure that you have a dedicated place and time to do your work. There are certain, I know all of us have different situations, but there are definitely situations when you have distracting noises, other family members that make it hard to get work done. So if it's possible to do your work in the place where you can best focus and at a time when you are best able to focus on getting your work done. You know, for myself, if I try to work with my kids around, I'm really unproductive. If I can get a few minutes to sneak away, I can get done in a few minutes what might have taken me an hour to do with all the chaos around me. So if it's possible to find that quieter place to work, that can really help be a time saver for you. Next is achieving a family, work, school, depending on what's going on in your life, balance. And by this I mean we all have different commitments that we need to meet, and it's not realistic to expect that school will be our only priority, especially on the online world, but we do have to work on trying to balance school with the other things that we need to do. So try to plan out as you look ahead to the quarter, planning when you're going to get your schoolwork done, when you're going to spend the time you need to with work or with family, and just juggling your schedules and trying to come up with a realistic plan of getting everything done that you need to get done and not thinking that you're going to get all your schoolwork done for 3, 4, 5 classes in an hour once a week. So being realistic with your time for all of your different commitments. One of the other really big things to being successful is just staying on schedule. So if you have certain things you need to get done for the week, making sure you get those things done. When you get behind, it gets really hard to catch up because you have current week's work and then past work that's due, and it can become really overwhelming. So if it's possible, try each week to get the assignments done that need to get done and not let them start piling up on you. Next, I'd say, excuse me, stay motivated. So there comes a certain point, I know for myself in the quarter, when I get really burned out and it's hard to keep moving forward with everything I need to get done. And I know when I was a student, it was the same way. Different people, I think, find that at different times that they can really push through and get things done, and other times in the quarter are really hard to stay focused. So whenever that happens, that you're feeling like it's hard to keep up on what you need to get done, remind yourself it's only a certain number of weeks. Try to make a plan of what you're going to get done each week to finish off the course, and try to keep up that motivation. Know that it won't be forever, and you will be done with the course and with school before you know it. So just keeping up that motivation throughout the quarter. Next, I'd say participate. So if you get engaged in the class, you participate in discussions, ask questions, get help when you need to. It really all does make the course easier. Talking with other students about questions, about difficulties, and as I mentioned, getting help when you need help just makes the course much easier than trying to struggle through it by yourself if you're struggling on something. Next, look for study partners. So if there's anyone in the course that wants to work together with you on an assignment and you can work together and help each other out, that would be great. When you submit your assignments, what I'm looking for on my end is that you do the write-ups on your own, but you can certainly, if you have someone you want to do labs with or any other activities with, you can do the activities together. So you could have the same data, for example, for a lab, but then write up the questions to the lab questions in your own words, each of you, so don't each turn in the same assignment. And my last tip would be is if there's a week when you were able to work ahead in any of your courses, try to do that. So try to work ahead a little bit, and that way it'll lessen up the load and the pressure later on in a week when maybe you have a lot going on. So if you're able to work ahead, feel free, at least in this course, to do that. It's whatever's available, you're welcome to work ahead on. And so those are my tips. And as I think I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things is just if you're struggling on something, don't sit and just struggle. If you're spending more than 10 minutes or so trying to figure something out, please feel free to send me an email or text message and ask for help, and probably can get you that help quickly so you're not sitting trying to figure something out on your own for hours and hours. So ask for help whenever you need it. I am more than happy to help. That's the end of our getting started with the course tutorial. So good luck in the course, and please don't hesitate to contact me at any time with any questions as you get started.